Welcome back to Y&R For Life, where we talk about all things Y&R related. We talk about what's going on, my predictions, what do I think is going to happen. Hey, we even talk about fashion on the show because I'm a big time fashion girl, so we got to spill the tea about that from time to time. If you're new to this channel, my question is, what took you so long to get here? And if you are returning, what's up? Long time no see. It's been a bit of a week. I really should have gone into my daughter's room and grabbed back my purple blanket because to me it was a bit of a sleepy week. Kind of picked up a little bit towards the end, but overall, this week really didn't do too much for me. I don't know. We'll try and get through it as best we can. So, a couple of disclaimers before we get into things. If you don't want to know what's going on, you kind of want to get caught up on your own, this might not be what you want to see or hear, but I am so grateful that you are here. And if I happen to not mention something, it could be I plumb forgot, or it really wasn't newsworthy, which is why I didn't mention it. It is what it is, nature of the beast, like I like to say. So, hopefully you got caught up. Hopefully you stomached through this whole week. Again, it was a little lackluster if you ask me. But again, that's completely my opinion. All right. And lastly, if you like this type of content, you like what you see, you like what you hear, it would be so kind if you hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell notifications so that you don't miss a single video that I post here on Y&R For Life. So, let's see where we're going to go with this. Okay, so Nikki and Lauren, they had a quaint little conversation while at Society over the fact that, Nikki is probably going to be back in full operation at Newman Media within the next couple of months. Well, as Lauren, sympathizes with her or empathizes with her, if you will, she's like, whoa, I know I've been helping you out, but I thought this was on a short-term thing. And she's like, no. I don't expect you to be there for all that length of time. I have somebody else in mind. Okay, we will soon find out who she has in mind. I think it was kind of obvious, but again, what do I know? Okay, so I will say as an aside, Nikki's dress, that purple, I loved it. So flowy, just a lovely shade of purple, looked really great on her complexion. I loved everything about it. And again, I'm a big time purple girl. In my head, it's a complete purple world. Just very regal, royalty, like all those wonderful things. So the fact that she had on my favorite color, that just amplified how I felt. So it put me into a good mood, if you will. Yeah, so that was Nikki. But she basically talked about the fact that Jack can no longer be her sponsor and how Victor is like opposed to this, and Jack said no, and Lauren's like, well, did he, what's up with that? And she's like, well, I kind of have a feeling that Diane had something to do with it. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know how I would feel, but what do I know? I'm not in the situation. But Jack and Nikki go back a long time. But I still feel that Jack went overboard on the whole, call up my dealer to help Nikki. It just as a last ditch effort. I didn't get that. But I think if anything, he should have called Victor or just something rather than, taking pills himself, compromising his own sobriety. Again, not in the situation. That's just me. All right. Segue over to Victor, Michael, and Cole, and how that new trifecta, how, Victor is once again the puppet master, and he's calling the shots over how these two are going to make up for what they did where Jordan was concerned, and how this big betrayal of Victor. Victor, get a hold of yourself. Like, I don't think they had any ill will in mind, but you force feeding her like Brussels sprouts and vodka. No, didn't make any sense to me. But that's Victor for you. All right, so again, Cole has to buddy up with Kyle, and Michael has to buddy up with Diane. What do these two have in common? That would be Jack Abbott. So basically, Michael is deducing that this information that the two of them, Diane and Kyle, the common denominator is Jack. So he's feeling like stuff's about to go down. And this whole rivalry between Jack and Victor is just going to come to some sort of crescendo. But I don't know. We shall see. Of course, that's where they're leading, but we shall see. All right. So when Victor had that conversation with Michael and Cole, in walks Victoria with her purse. That was weird. You're living at the tack house. You frightened somebody's going to take your purse? Why are you coming into... I've never seen this. Like, unless they're going out to some swanky dinner, I've never seen her just casually coming in with her purse. That seems strange to me. All right. So she's like, oh, what did I walk in on here, And Victor says a lie, of course. And the two of them have to kind of follow suit. And they eventually leave, and it's this whole big meeting with the family minus Nikki. So backtrack a bit. Adam and Nick, where were they? I think they were at Society as well. I don't think they were at the club. I think they were at Society as well. Kind of doesn't matter where they were. The fact is that those two broskies seem to be getting along. Anyway, Adam gets some call or some notification that some particular deal is going through, and Nick's like, Yahoo, and yeah, so he's like, oh, we need to tell Dad. And Nick's like, well, I'm going to go over there because he basically summons me over there. And Adam's like, I got to go there too because I got summons pretty much just like you did. So he's like, I wonder what that's all about. Nick's like, look, I learned a long time ago not to try and figure this stuff out. Like, don't bother. And it would do you, Adam, a world of good if you followed suit and just don't even bother. So they go over to the Newman Ranch. So it's the three of them, the three siblings, minus Abby, of course. Who knows where Abby is at this point? But anyway, this whole meeting had to do with Victor trying to get Victoria to come back to Newman. Like, when are you coming back? Don't you think it's time that you come back? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, no, I don't think I want to come back. And he's like, but you belong there. It's in your blood and blah, blah, blah. And, she's like, no, I just don't have that urge. So, of course, Adam's on the side like, with his facial expressions like, what the hell is going on here? And Victor is like, look, I want you to get back into Newman. And Adam's like, okay, so like, you want her back? That means I'm out. Because I'm the dispensable one. Everybody knows that. I'm the first to go. Poor Adam. So he's like, son, what are you talking about? He's like, look, we know this. So he's like, no, I want you to run Newman Media again. He's like, sounds like you're giving me a CEO position. He goes, yeah, I am. You did a fantastic job when you were there. You know, your work was stellar. And he's like, yeah, there seems to be a catch going on here. So he's like, have I not done good work? You wanted us to get along, Nick and I, and we're getting along. And as a matter of fact, the deal with the blah, blah, blah is going through as we speak. He's like, well, that's great. He's like, so I don't understand. Like, where's this coming from? And of course, they question, does Nikki know about this? And why isn't she here? And he's like, nope, she's focused on, getting better, which I want to say that was the quickest rehab I have ever seen. What? Okay. So, of course, Adam is still like, something's not right here. This don't make no sense. And Victoria's like, look, I don't even want to come back at this rate. So, like, Adam, you're good. Like, and you can't blame Adam because he really is the dispensable one. He's always the one, like, last in, first out. That's just the way that it is. I don't know. It's been like that for a long, long time. So, to be honest with you, I don't even know why Adam is even there. Like, this whole birthright nonsense, like, get over it. Start something of your own. You're an entrepreneur. Get it together. You went to business school. Find your own path. Stop getting kicked around. Oh, yeah. So, anyway, Adam's got to bounce because he's got to meet up with Chelsea regarding Connor. And we'll get back to Victoria very shortly. So, Adam and Chelsea have found out that Connor has gone back to beating himself up. Again, I say I've never heard, I'm not saying that it doesn't occur, I've just never heard of someone with OCD taking it to the level where they're hitting themselves, like inflicting self-harm. Like, this is all brand new to me. And I really should have researched it between last week or the last 2 weeks until now, but I digress. So the poor child has been smacking himself upside the face. And of course, Chelsea and Adam are like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, they're especially Adam, he's besides himself. He doesn't know what to do and how to handle this. So anyway, story short, Connor wants to see his parents. And Adam's like, well, we'll fire up the Newman jet, or if that doesn't work, we'll get another flight, whatever, we'll go. And he's like, but I don't want to get my hopes up because the last time it didn't work out well. And then, yeah. So Connor, Chelsea, and Adam had a FaceTime. And Connor was talking about how, I guess he feels better and he had some soup, or I don't know if they even discussed the significance of the soup, but he had some soup. He was very proud of himself. And yeah, so Chelsea thinks that things are now on an upward climb, that they're getting better. And she basically tells Adam, look, don't go thinking whatever. If it doesn't pan out the way that we would like it to, no harm, no foul, right? But let's take this as a win because Connor actually wants to see us. So he says. So he's like, yeah, you're right. And yeah, that's pretty much that. He goes and tells Sally. That was just an aside. I don't even know why that whole scene between the two of them were there. She's asking him about a pillow, and he's like, yeah, okay, that's great. And he then tells her about Connor and how they're going to go, whatever. So, of course, Sally gives her 2 cents and her little words of wisdom, and all's well with the world. Okay, let's go back to Victoria. We'll throw in Cole and a side plate of Claire. All right, so basically, Cole had messaged Victoria about, can we kind of like meet? And I guess it was I think he said for dinner or something. Pushing right along, she agrees, and so they were going on a date. Well, Victoria is wearing this like halter sheath type dress, all white, and talking about, well, maybe we'll go to like some casual burger joint that your father likes to go to. This is what she tells Claire. And I'm like, dressed like that? Even Claire was like, yeah, no, not dressed like that. And yeah. So Cole comes all debonair up to the tack house, and he is stone cold dressed. And he basically was like, yeah, I got a table for us at society. I hope you don't mind. She's like, no, that's great. Well, Claire is up to her little, nice girl, nice daughter tricks. And she basically calls society, speaks to Tessa and says, you have a reservation for Cole. Can you make sure that it's like a quiet table? And the fact that, can you also order a bottle of champagne for them on my behalf? So Tessa's like, oh, okay, no problem. Wow. What, 2 days on the job and she's ordering champagne? That's weird. All right. So through the mix of that, Cole and Victoria have their little night out. They're not supposed to be talking about Claire, but yeah, they sporadically throw her name in. And basically, Victoria is trying to figure out from Cole when he's going back to Oxford. And he's like, he doesn't want to go back, but it's contingent on how she feels about him. Because he wants to basically pursue something with her, but he also doesn't want to rush anything. And she basically concurs that she had some rough relationships. I'd say so. JT, what was his name? The one that got Ashlyn. Like, what? She has had a string of want failures. And Victoria, your problem is that you love so hard, so quickly. Like, you need to just go back to Newman or something like that and focus on your career, because your love life is just something out of Never Neverland. Just saying. All right. So they have a nice dinner, and when they get back to the tack house, Cole gives her a passionate kiss, and she is feeling herself. And she's like, oh, would you like to stay for a drink or coffee? And he's like, Yeah, as much as I'd love to, I basically don't want to ruin a good thing, and because I don't want to rush you, and yeah. So I will refrain from staying. Because we all know where that was going to go. Just saying. And he's like, nope, not going to happen. So she was kind of like enamored by that because he was being a gentleman. And of course, Claire, sees her mother, just kind of like almost pining over her father. So that puts Claire into a nice headspace. Push it back a little bit more. Claire and Kyle had a brief moment. Not anything scandalous, but Kyle had brought over her wallet that apparently got misplaced because and little Harrison told Kyle to take it to her like right speedily. So Claire's like, didn't even know it was missing. You didn't have to come on over here. You could have just messaged me and I would have gotten it tomorrow. Like, he's like, nope. Harrison was very adamant that I bring it to you like right away. So that's what I'm doing. So they had a quaint conversation. Um, Insert Mariah, who I don't even want to talk about her and Tessa, but basically Mariah had spoken to Tessa to basically get some margaritas and food to take over to Claire because she felt that she was alone. Well, unbeknownst to Mariah, Kyle was keeping Claire very occupied with their conversation about, was it murder mysteries or who done it? I don't know. All right. I'm telling you, this week was just ugh. And yeah, it was not where it was at or where it should have been at, in my opinion. Okay. Um, yeah, the whole Claire and Kyle and Mariah, let's just skip over that. Okay, Summer's having a conniption over the fact that Lil Harrison is all up on Claire to the point where he kind of almost like pushes Summer out the way to get to Claire and give her like hugs. So Summer is reeling over this and she is like not in a happy place. So she talks to Do Gooder Chance about this. And he's like, yeah, okay. And basically, she's like, well, Kyle and I've never really had any big custody, you know, in place where Harrison is concerned. But I think at this point it might be necessary. And he's like, well, this is Do Gooder Chance. He's like, look, whoa. If you're going to involve lawyers and stuff like that, it's never a good thing. And she's like, but I feel as though, Harrison is basically going to like forget me kind of thing. And he's like, well, you're his mom and what have you. And she's like, yeah, I know. So basically, she's telling on herself that she's jealous over her son's relationship with the nanny versus his relationship with her. Summer, get a hold of yourself. I will say this. You looked worlds better. Your hair was on point. Your outfit was pretty good in comparison to that navy blue leather / faux leather dress and your little bolero jacket where you looked so uncomfortable. Even my daughter was like, oh, thank goodness she's not wearing that dress anymore. And my daughter is soon to be 9. So if she could see it, yeah. Okay. So anyway, she is all up in her feelings. And I guess Chance is trying to take her mind off of it. He says he's going to go up to her room, ask for her room key to set the mood for, I'm assuming a night of passion, but whatever. What do I know? And so she, in the interim, sends Kyle a message about, like, we need to talk. So Kyle basically says, yeah, tomorrow. So we'll see where that's going to go. It's not going to be pretty, in my opinion. All right, let's gloss over a couple of people. Diane is all upset over Kyle, sidelining her every moment he gets. And Jack is like, I thought you guys worked this stuff out. She's like, nope. Like, he's consistently doing this. Jack confronted Kyle eventually, and he's like, so maybe I colored the lines, but, like, I can't help it if I have more experience. Okay, Kyle. Such is life. So, yeah, let's gloss over them because that's like na boo boo. That just keeps going on and on and on. Okay, Kyle and Victor have a run-in, and where Victor basically is trying to siphon him from Jabot and let him see that there's better potential out there for him and his skills. And Victor, stop meddling all up in people's business. Cut it out. Stop trying to, like, sheep steal. Like, enough. And I like Victor, but, like, oh my goodness, this whole week he was been so incessant. All right. I actually have a prediction, and this is different from my prediction. I think I gave it last week concerning Tracy and Alan, but here's my prediction. Okay, follow me here. I feel as though Chelsea and Adam are going to somehow have a moment. I can kind of see this coming, and it may screw up Adam and Chelsea. Adam and Sally. I was about to call her Courtney, even though that's her real name, but Adam and Sally's relationship. So I feel as though there's rumblings where that's going to go on. I also feel that Billy and Lily will somehow dipsy doodle together at some fleeting moment, which would in turn screw up Billy's relationship with Chelsea. I feel like there was another prediction in there somewhere. However, those two, that set of four, I think I just have this gnawing feeling. Okay, my previous prediction, I believe I said it on the last video, but whatever, is that Dr. Allen has the hots for Tracy, and we need her to have a storyline badly. Rather than just helping everybody in sight, let Tracy find love. And I need a sign that says, let Tracy have love. Maybe I'll make one for next week. I don't know. And petition. Good grief. Give her a better storyline. Like, you are not really using Beth and her talent. And I'm saying Beth because that's Tracy's real name in life is Beth Maitland. Give her something. Anyway, so basically Alan invites her to dinner. And she says, yeah. So I think she might be a little sweet on Dr. Allen as well. Jack is in Paris checking in up on them, and all's well with the world. So Dr. Allen basically says that Ashley could have had DID from since she was a little girl, and these alters might have been in her for a long time, and went undetected. So there was a whole big thing about that. Now, do I believe that that could be the case? Absolutely. But we will never know. Okay. I think we're going to end it off with Tucker, Audra, and a silent investor, which we all know is not silent. Insert eye roll. So Audra learns of Ashley's, DID through Tucker, and Tucker, by the way, his hair was cracking me right up. It looks so disheveled. Just like he just rolled right on out of bed. In my head, before they did the scene, they're like, Trevor, go on the bed, roll around, roll on the floor, like let your hair look a certain way. And yeah, you're good. And action. Just a mess his hair was. So basically, he tells Audra the whole story about Ashley with the DID and the fact that, he's over it, and the fact that he just wanted to be able to sleep at night because he knows that he didn't do anything wrong. And so Audra's like kind of, sympathetic over this. But she's also not buying much of anything. And she basically says to Tucker, like, you're out and I'm in. Tucker went this back and forth between where he's in love with Audra and he wants to give her glissade. 2 seconds later, I wish you well, but I'm keeping glissade. This was, again, a ping pong match that just went back and forth, but whatever. So Audra basically is like, look, we convinced the board to basically vote you out, and it's like a done deal. Again, mess. And his personal assistant, she is doing the most. I don't even remember what her name is. Does anybody know what her name is? Is she going to have like a big time role on the show? I actually wouldn't mind. I'm just saying, she's getting a lot of lines of late. Just, you think? So he's like, look, who's this investor? Because this doesn't make any sense. And she's like, I'm not telling you. Eventually, he's like, oh, I know who it is. Well, obviously it's Victor. Who else is going to have money just throwing around the joint? Like, it's Victor. Anyway, she basically says tomorrow there's going to be a board meeting to basically install me as the new CEO, and you're out. Well, she's going on about this silent investor, and he's like, well, tell me who it is. She's like, I'm not telling you jack. And eventually we see that it's Victor. Who wouldn't have thought this? Who? Like, it's not Jack, because as we saw in times past, he's been scrambling for cash. So it's not Jack. And who else could it be except Victor Newman? Well, it's a mess, people. It's a mess. So we'll see what's going to happen. But just when they were going to have the board meeting to install her as the CEO and bump him out, Tucker out, Tucker basically has a heart attack on camera now. Do you think he is faking it? It is so feasible that Tucker is faking it. It's feasible and plausible that even the doctor that came to check in on him, he could have paid him off already. So we don't know. And Audra's losing her mind because she's like, this is not for real. What the hell is going on here? What is going on here? Audra, here's what I'm going to tell you. You can't pull the wool over Tucker's eyes. Tucker, you know, you can't do it. Good luck trying, but you can't do it. So we're going to see where this all goes. And hopefully this coming week will be much, much better. Because once again, I say this week was, to me, sleepy. And it makes me want to go and take a nap. Just saying. That's how sleepy it was. The heart attack scene, well, yeah, that's what made it pick up a little bit. But everything else, I don't think anybody really cared. Just saying. So if you stuck around to the end of this video, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I try and post these videos on Sundays, just to end the week. And, so everybody kind of gets caught up and we're on, a similar page. But I'll be honest, it doesn't always work out. Why? Because sometimes life gets in the way. So, we just hope for the best. So once again, I do thank you and I appreciate your time as usual. If you like this type of content, by all means, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe and share. Why? Because sharing is caring. At least I like to think so. So let the Instagram, the YouTube, dare I say Instagram, the YouTube algorithm just go off with bells and whistles so that other people can share in my insanity. Well, it has been a blast as usual, and I love and appreciate all of you. And we will see what this coming week holds. You know me, no filter. No editing. I don't do any of that stuff. So we just hope for the best. So take care, guys, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye.